Hey guys, welcome back to another video. If you one of my subbies, then you one of my boos. What it do? Hope you guys are doing well. I've missed you so much. If you're new here, my name is Princess, and over here on this channel I create content where I share my journey of entrepreneurship, motherhood, and my love for all things beauty. If you like that kind of thing, consider sticking around, subscribing, and becoming one of my boos maybe. But in today's video, we're gonna just jump right on in. For those of you who have been around for a while, you know I have a newborn. Well, she's 3 months old now. Is that still considered a newborn? I don't know. But I have a little baby and she is the boss of the house. So I'm trying to get this done before she wakes up. So I don't want to waste any time. I want to jump right on in. I'm going to be trying a new wax. You guys, I have become obsessed with perfecting wooden wick candles. I really want to use wooden wicks. I love the aesthetic. I love the crackle. I love just how it makes candles look unique and different. And while there are a lot of people, a lot of makers who use wooden wicks, the pool of wooden wick candles out there that are really good wooden wick candles, by the way, is very small. Most of us use cotton wicks because they're easier, they're more consistent, all those things, right? So that makes room for opportunity to create a unique candle. I'm sorry, y'all, stumbling over my words, by using wooden wicks. And so I'm obsessed. Like I'm obsessed. Okay. And so I started testing wooden wicks before I got pregnant, before I started preparing for my exams last year. And with all the hectic and craziness that has been going on in life, I postponed it, and so now I'm picking it back up. So before I get into the wax, I want to show you that I do have multiple of Makesy's wicking kits, and I just ordered some new wicks. Let me show y'all. I ordered the 0.25, 0.0 by 0.03 and 0.25 by 0.02, both in booster and whisper wicks. Okay, these are for tea lights, and in my mind I'm thinking for vessels where I may need to double wick, these smaller wicks may allow me to double wick sufficiently. Okay, so you'll be seeing me use these probably on the channel. So essentially I have every wooden wick that Makesy has come out with, including the new ultimate wooden wicks. Okay, so you're gonna be seeing a lot of wood wick testing on this video. Y'all, I'm tripping. Y'all are gonna be seeing a lot of wood wick testing on my channel because, like I said, I'm literally obsessed with wicking my candles with wooden wicks. Now, why am I bringing that up? Because I've been using coconut apricot wax for the entire time of my business. Okay, I've been using it since I've been making candles, which is about 5 years. I absolutely love that wax, adore it. It's amazing. I have nothing bad to say except I cannot get it to burn the way I want it to burn with wooden wicks. I'm very particular about the way my candles burn, and I haven't been liking the way the coconut apricot wax burns with wooden wicks. Okay, so but I was planning on kind of like mixing it with another wax and making my own coconut apricot blend with some SP487. I believe that's what it is. I have to look for reference, but before I do that, I wanted to try another wax that would not require me to blend. And so I've been doing my research, and I found that most people who are able to successfully wick their candles with the wooden wicks use either soy wax or a coconut soy blend. I am a huge fan of coconut wax. I absolutely love coconut wax. It is my preference. So then what wax are you testing, Princess? I know that's probably what y'all are wondering while I'm over here rambling. Glad you asked. I bought me a slab of coconut soy EC26 wax from Hive and Honey. Hive and Honey was having a sale, so I bought me a slab to test. Okay, and again, this is the cocoa soy made by Cal Wax. It's EC26, and it is a blend of coconut and soy wax. There's more coconut than actually I think it's almost a 50-50 blend. I can't remember. I'll put the percentages up on the screen. but I believe there is more coconut in this wax than it is soy. Okay, so this is going to be a two-part video because this wax does require a cure time. So I think what I'm going to do is separate this video into two, where I go ahead and make my candles, pour my testers, and then in the next video, and I'll give you guys an update on cold throw, and I'll rate the cold throw and compare it to coconut apricot wax, and then the next video we'll do a burn test and we'll do some wick testing. Okay, so right off the bat, I'm gonna open up this wax because I'm in some Facebook groups and I did a lot of research before I decided to try this wax. And one of the things that people complained about or made note of is the smell of this wax. So let's take it out the bag and let's smell it. So I know coconut apricot has no smell. It's just, there's no smell. Okay, so let's see. This wax does have more of a waxy, smell, but that's not bad. It doesn't bother me. I'm just hoping that it will not be as bad in the candle when I mix it with the fragrance oil, because one person was saying that even when mixing it with the fragrance oil, she can still smell the waxy aroma. So that's what I'm going to be looking for. I'm going to be looking to see if after the wax and the fragrance oil combine, does this waxy smell go away. It is about as soft as coconut apricot wax, so I'm like, how is this gonna burn differently if the softness and the melt point are similar? That's one thing I was, kind of looking into as well. How is this gonna compare to the wicking in coconut apricot wax? I don't know, but we will see. Okay, so for my testers today, I'm going to use a couple of different vessels, I believe. I'm trying to settle on the types of vessels that I want to be my signature, like that I want my core line of candles to be in. I've been going back and forth between these 12-ounce straight-sided jars and then the standard 8-ounce straight-sided jar. So I don't know. I'm going to test both of them just to see how they work. This one has a diameter of 3 inches. This one has 2.5 inch diameter. And when I'm talking about the diameter, I'm not talking about the opening. I'm talking about the inside of the jar. I think this is more like a 2 3/8, the very just where the closure goes. So the closure spot is of course a little bit smaller, but the main area where the candle will be burning, this is a 2.5 inch. And I'm going to be testing this vessel right here because I have a collection, I have a special collection that I'm working on that I started like a year and a half ago, and was not able to bring to fruition. So I'm getting back on it. But this is going to be the vessel for that collection. Isn't it beautiful? Stunning. Just absolutely stunning. So I'm going to pour a tester in this. Now, the way I like to test new waxes and fragrance oils is I like to do a half jar test first. And that's because when your candle burns, you want to make sure that when the flame gets to the center of the jar, that it doesn't get too hot. So what I like to do is find a good size wick that works for the middle of the jar. And then I'll burn the candle from the middle of the jar down to the bottom. And then I'll make another tester, fill it to the top, and I'll burn the candle all the way down. Now with coconut waxes, if you have some hang up around the perimeter of the jar, that's ideal and that's okay, because as the candle burns down lower, it gets hotter and it will bring that wax down and melt that wax down. So that's my method. Others may test differently, but I like to start with a half jar first, and then also that helps to save on supplies and ingredients so that I'm not wasting anything. If I make a full candle, I don't get a good hot throw, I don't get a good cold throw, and I can't get a wick to burn properly in the middle of the jar, because that's the critical part of the candle burn. Then I will have wasted a whole candle versus seeing what works at the most critical burning point of the jar, and then you know, saying, okay, that wick worked good. Let's make a full candle and see if it burns all the way down. I hope I'm making sense, you guys. That's just my method. I just wanted to share that with you guys. So let's go ahead and get into making the candle. I apologize for any background noise that you may hear. Addison got fussy, so I had to bring her into my room. So if she gets too loud, then I'll just switch over to a voiceover. And of course, my oldest is in the background playing, and my husband is putting up the Christmas tree. So y'all, it's a lot going on in my residence right now. But so at first touch, initially, I thought this wax was about as soft as coconut apricot. Around the edges is pretty soft, and that's probably just from like shipping, you know, it banging up against the box. But when I press in here, this is pretty hard. That's right, Addison, you agree with me? So it's pretty hard. It's so let's cut it. I'm gonna use the exact same thing that I used to cut my coconut apricot wax with, and this is a soap cutter. You can use a knife. And y'all, I found that when I decided to try this wax out, I searched on YouTube to see if I can find videos of people who use this wax, and there are not a lot of videos about EC26 on YouTube. So I hope you guys find this video helpful, because I probably only found like 2 videos specifically about this wax. One of them is Cali Meets New York. Hey girl, hey, if you're watching this. And then but she doesn't go over her process or anything like that. So if you're looking for a video about process of like how to make candles with this wax, she doesn't go over that, but she does talk about how amazing her candles smell, which made me even more excited. And she only uses 8% fragrance load. So I'm gonna do what she's doing. I'm gonna do an 8% fragrance load. I usually use a 10%, but if I can bring down the fragrance load to save money, then I'm gonna do that. And then also with wooden wicks, my research has told me that the lower fragrance loads on candles, y'all hear Addison in the background, lower fragrance loads on candles make the wooden wicks burn better. Okay. And oh girl from Cali Meets, and I'm sorry for calling you oh girl if you watch my channel. I don't know your name. I think it's Melissa. I think it may be Melissa. We're gonna go with Melissa. If it's wrong, I'm gonna put it on the screen. But Melissa says that she gets great hot throw from her candles with an 8% fragrance load. So we're gonna try that. So I'm gonna go ahead and measure my wax right into the picture. So let's cut it and see how easy it cuts with the soap cutter. You can get these on Amazon. It's really easy to cut. Very soft, very similar to coconut apricot wax. Very similar. The texture, I can push my finger through it. Very soft. It is soft. Okay. I'll tear my scale. I need 391 grams of wax. So it does have a waxy smell, almost kind of like crayons almost. Let's see if that's too much. Nope, not too much. It's a really pretty, nice, creamy white. Now I'm going to use a hot plate for this. And I'm going to put the pouring pitcher directly on the heat source. Then I'm going to heat this up just like I would my coconut apricot wax. I'm going to take it up to 230, and I'm going to add my fragrance oils. I'm going to use a silicone spatula to stir, and then I have this thermometer. Why did I say thermometer like that? This thermometer right here to track the temperature. Scoot this over. It's already on, and I'm gonna watch it. Just gonna put that right there. Let me bring y'all up a little bit. So that's warming up. I'm gonna go ahead and measure out my fragrance oil. I'm gonna use a beaker. I usually measure my fragrance oils out in beakers. Using glass or silicone cups or beakers is best because fragrance oil can eat through plastics and paper. So yeah, I'm going to be using Fruit Loops fragrance oil from the Flaming Candle because it's a really nice thrower for me. I've never had problems getting hot throw out of this fragrance oil and I love it. So I'm going to use this for these candles, and I'm using 8%. That is the lowest percent of fragrance oil that I have ever used, like ever. So I'm curious to see how this works in these candles, and particularly this wax. Now what I'm expecting, just from working with soy, because I have worked with 464 soy before, so what I'm expecting is for the cold throw on this wax to develop quickly. And I'm expecting the cold throw to be really good, because on my coconut apricot wax, cold throw usually takes about 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours to fully develop for me. So I'm expecting the cold throw to like really come through in this candle fairly quickly. And I could have just like poured this in. I don't know why I'm using this pipette like this, and this is taking way more fragrance oil than I thought. Good Lord, 34 grams. All right, 34 grams. So I will be pouring these candles wickless so that I can easily switch out my wicks if I need to, and it won't be a problem. So that's another way that I like to test my candles. I like to do with the wickless method. So this wax is melting nicely, nice and clear. Let me show you guys. It's really pretty. Alright guys, as you can see, we're approaching 230 degrees. We're at 228-ish, 229. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off of the burner. I'm going to turn it off. And I'm going to go ahead and get my fragrance oil and pour it in right away. Okay. And then I'm going to stir for about a minute. Okay. Let me show you on this candle how it's set up, how the wax set up. Nice, smooth, beautiful, white, creamy tops. So pretty. And as the Hive and Honey website said, amazing jar adhesion. Look at that. We have one little wet spot right here, it looks like. But My house has been really cold. When I poured these and I looked at them the night that they set, there were no wet spots. So I think for this larger vessel, the temperature of my house caused the wax to shrink a little bit more, and this one is sitting right up under a vent. Whereas these, as you can see, no wet spots. You see that? Not that I'm crazy about wet spots anyway. They don't bother me. I don't care. It's just a cosmetic thing. It doesn't affect the burn of the candle, but to some people this matters. So I just wanted to share it. And last but not least, you guys, the cold throw on these candles after 4 hours of pouring was immaculate. Like, blew me away. I smelled the candles, did not expect to be punched in the face with scent, with aroma, but I was. With my coconut apricot wax, it usually takes a full 24 hours for the cold throw to develop. If I pour a stronger scent, sometimes it'll develop quicker, but that punch you in the face, like, oh my god, this smells amazing, cold throw for coconut apricot wax, usually within 24 to 48 hours. But this, I poured these at 4 o'clock in the afternoon or the evening. I came in to smell the candles around 7 and was just slapped all in my face with Fruit Loops scent. It's amazing. So I'm already blown away by that. As I shared with you guys earlier in the video, I expected the cold throw to come through a lot faster because it has a higher soy content. So the next step is burning these bad boys in 2 weeks. I don't think I'm gonna make it that long, y'all. I probably will start test burning them at the 10-day mark. So if you're interested in seeing that, then subscribe so that you can be notified when I post that video. I am recording and editing this in real time, so I am gonna, it will be a 10 to 14 day gap between this video and the follow-up video where I do the wig testing and hot throw test. So if you want to see it, subscribe. If you found this video helpful, please comment, like it, and share it with other candle makers, other people who may be interested in EC26 wax. And big shout out to my very first Patreon. I do have a Patreon. If you're interested in joining my Patreon, the link is in the description box below. I'm going to put her name up on the screen. Thank you so much, girl. You are my very first paid patron, and I appreciate you so much. Alright guys, so until the next video, y'all stay blessed. Remember, you are perfectly imperfect. Love all of you because God does, and so do I. I'll see y'all in the next video. Deuces!